and welcome to another edition of Fake News with me, Nicholas DeSanto. This bulletin comes to you from London, England. That's right, this is what English people look like right now. Well, I'm just joking. I'm not from around here, although I truly feel at home because some of my teeth are British. Now, let's see what's been happening in the past fortnight. That's a British word, by the way. Your chance to look it up, learn something. Now, the religion of peace strikes again. It finally happened. Salman Rushdie was brutally stabbed as he showed up for a public speaking event in New York. More than 30 years after the founder of the Islamic Republic of Iran put a fatwa on his head for writing the blasphemous novel The Satanic Verses. As the British American lies in hospital in critical conditions, the Association of Muslims in the US said in a statement, "Let us not forget that this attack does not represent true Islam. True Islam, indeed, usually opts for beheadings or AK-47s. Also, true Islam doesn't take 30 years to find its target." Still in America, the political arena went into turmoil after FBI raided Donald Trump's private residence in Mar-a-Lago, Florida. The unprecedented raid on a former president was allegedly conducted over documents Trump hasn't returned to the National Archives. This is the first time FBI acts as a political tool for the Democrats since the last time they acted as a political tool for the Democrats. An FBI spokesman said, "We could have let the issue slide, but he didn't leave the documents in a laptop repair shop, you know." Joe Biden scored a major publicity point as the US forces took out Al-Qaeda's leader Ayman al-Zawahiri, bin Laden's number 2 and successor responsible for 9/11 and several other attacks that took thousands of American lives. He was killed by US missiles as he was standing on the balcony of his accommodation in Kabul, Afghanistan. Reacting to the news, a spokesman for the Pakistani government said, "What? This is total BS. This is outrageous. We are sick and tired of these accusations. Pakistan does not aid terrorists. Pakistan does not harbor terrorists." What? He was in Afghanistan? When did he move? Okay, congratulations, America. We are your friends, you know. When did he move? Afghanistan move کرده واقعا? Okay. US House Speaker visited Taiwan to reiterate support for the island in face of growing Chinese aggression. During the trip that angered Beijing, Speaker Nancy Pelosi told the Taiwanese leaders the US will stand with them all the way. She explained, "In case of a Chinese invasion, we will give you all the necessary mid-range rocket launchers to delay China's conquest of the island for up to 12 hours." In Britain, in another incident that has become a routine in this country, British police arrested a man for sharing a meme which was allegedly mean towards transgender people. In the viral video, while being handcuffed, the 51-year-old Darren Brady is told by the Hampshire police that the meme he shared has caused anxiety for somebody. The news was welcomed by millions of people in Germany, Austria, and Italy, as this proves our old theory yet again. British grandfathers did not fight on the right side of history. This travesty cannot be the right side of history. You're out of your freaking mind if you think you were on the right side of history. With the reduction of rainfall in July, millions of people in southeast England have come under effective or imminent hosepipe ban, with some water suppliers, such as Southeast Water, urging people to grass on their neighbors who flout the ban to water their gardens and lawns. English people have also been encouraged to report neighbors who don't believe that the National Healthcare System NHS is the envy of the world, or that diversity is a strength, or that every woman must be believed. Still in southeast England, trains between Norwich and Stansted Airport were delayed by more than an hour because of a large tortoise on the tracks which needed treatment. Experts were baffled as to how many metaphors and ironies this story contains. I mean, a slow tortoise stopping a fast train? That's irony, isn't it? But then an English train, so quite slow. The treatment for the tortoise was also slow, fitting for a tortoise story and an NHS story. The trains in England, although they are quite poorly, ironically, this country gave rail transport to the whole world. So what do you think? I'm looking forward to reading your comments about all the metaphors and ironies we can extract from this story. So if you like ironies, get this. The movie Batgirl has been canned just before being released in cinemas. Batgirl was the latest example of wokeification of old movies where classic heroes are turned into female, LGBT, or ethnic minority characters. These woke remakes all have one thing in common. They are total crap. But Batgirl, which cost $90 million, was so poorly received in test screenings that Warner Bros. Pulled it from cinema screens and it won't be even released through other platforms. So there you have it, a superhero that couldn't save her own movie, never mind Gotham City. Millions of straight white men reacted to the news by saying, "Oh no, we were so much looking forward to watching that." Now, more on Johnny Depp's defamation case victory against ex-wife Amber Heard. Newly released court documents show that Ms. Heard's legal team accused Depp's team of trying to present irrelevant files about her past, especially a time she worked as an exotic dancer, and tried to imply she also used to be an escort. Depp's team responded, "We did try to suggest she used to be an escort, but then we realized she's a dishonest, obnoxious woman and the jury already hates her, so there was no need for any of that." Time for sport now. The king is not naked. The king is wearing a sports bra. England women won the European Football Championship, and this caused pain for intersectional activists intersectionally. First, they realized there was no diversity in the team. In other words, the England team looked very English. And then Chloe Kelly, who scored the extra time winner in the final against Germany, celebrated by taking off and whipping around her shirt. This is when feminists had a shocking discovery, that if an athletic woman jumps up and down in a sports bra on the football field, most men find it quite hot. Feminists tweeted, "This is a woman's body, not for sex or show," although it was on show. The player herself put it on show. But in this day and age, the patriarchy cannot decide for a woman's body. The TV director cannot decide for a woman's body. Even Chloe Kelly cannot decide for her own body. It is up to less attractive women to decide for other women's body. Her body belongs to the cause. Ein Volk, ein Reich, ein Feminismus. And remember, thou shalt not mention the king's bra. Former footballer and TV host Gary Lineker had the audacity to make a little pun on the situation. He tweeted, "Chloe Kelly is the best bra none." Bra none, get it? He was shamed into deleting his tweet. There's, however, a silver lining in this sad story. Gary Lineker is a woke, virtue-signaling lefty stooge of the cancel culture himself. So, it's quite funny. Let them eat football. In the wake of England's victory, there has been even more emphasis on the need for women to play football. The England team wrote a letter to the Conservative Party leadership candidates calling for every girl in the country to be able to play football at school. As report after report from town after town across the length and breadth of this kingdom conclude that thousands of underprivileged, underage white girls have been groomed and raped by Pakistani gangs, and the authorities have done nothing for fear of being called racist. Now, the authorities and media's main concern is that no girl feels put off playing football. So it seems Pakistani gangs will continue to abuse girls in this woke climate of impunity unless at any point during the abuse they say women's football isn't as good as men's football. Then there will be some real consequences. English Premier League announced the footballers will abandon taking the knee before every match. The controversial gesture was unpopular with many fans, and the Premier League says taking the knee will now be limited to specific moments. Which specific moments? The moments they feel like being clueless, useful idiots for a Marxist cause. And Manchester United superstar Ronaldo angered the manager for having left the match before the final whistle. Ronaldo was seen leaving the Old Trafford Stadium before the friendly against Rayo Vallecano was over. Manager Erik ten Hag said, "This is unacceptable. I have told him, if this happens one more time, it will be twice." And that's it. This brings us to the end of this edition of Fake News with me, Nicholas DeSanto. Thank you for watching. Please support me on alternative platforms, and until next time, have a great start of the week.